So now that Ironheart is officially wrapped up with a very surprise ending, we are finally done with Phase 5 of the MCU. And guys, it has been quite a rough journey, I can't lie. We definitely went through it. So in today's video, we're going to be ranking all the projects in Phase 5, and then we're going to be ranking my anticipation for Phase 6 projects, any of them that have been confirmed up until this point. I will be excluding all animated projects, whether it be What If, I Am Groot, Marvel Zombies, Eyes of Wakanda, just because I said so. Starting off at the bottom, number 12, we have Secret Invasion. Now, I don't think anybody didn't see this coming. This project was kind of doomed from the start, from its unnecessary and unexpected death of Maria Hill, the very much criticized AI intros, and just the uninteresting story. It was so, unfortunately, boring. And it really sucks because the Skrull storyline in the comics is really cool, but it was just so downplayed and watered down, and it didn't fit into the story whatsoever. And it sucks because the Skrull storyline in the comics is super cool, and it's kind of more of an Avengers level thing. They should have made an Avengers Skrull Secret Invasion type of movie instead of this show, because it just felt so downplayed and watered down. It just was not very good. And don't even get me started on the messy timeline of when Rhodey wasn't a Skrull or when he was a Skrull, because people still aren't very clear on that. This show is just a super big waste of production, and I think they should have saved this for something down the line. At number 11, another very disappointing project, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Talk about disappointing. This film had so much riding on it, having Kang the Conqueror being the main villain, setting him up for Kang Dynasty, and it just fell so hard on its face. The overdone comedy was terrible, the storyline was not easy to follow, and when they nerfed Kang the Conqueror to be beaten by Ant-Man in this level, it makes me get on my knees and pray, thank you God, that we're getting Doomsday instead of Kang Dynasty. Sitting at number 10, we have Echo. Now this one really hurts me to say because I was really looking forward to more street level Marvel content, but it was just so unfortunately boring. Daredevil's cameo was pretty cool, and some of the action sequences were really well thought out, but overall it was just very uninteresting, and I just didn't have a good time watching. I'm gonna get murdered for this one for sure, but at number 9 we have Agatha All Along. I don't really have much to say. I didn't dislike this series, but I didn't really like it. It's just not really what I personally look for when I'm enjoying Marvel content, so it was just very uninteresting to me. Kathryn Hahn's performance as Agatha Harkness is really cool. I feel like she's very much made that character her own, which is really awesome. And the reintroduction of Wiccan was pretty cool, but like I said, it's just not really what I look for when I watch Marvel content. So that's why it's at number 9. At number 8, we have The Marvels. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of the first Captain Marvel movie. I just think it was incredibly forced in between Infinity War and Endgame and just kind of boring. I also never really liked the character of Carol Danvers, and I know it's not because she's a woman or I hate Brie Larson. I actually really like Brie Larson. I think she's a great actress, but in Civil War Part 2, when she unjustly arrests Miles Morales, that hurt, right? And from then on, Carol Danvers has always been on my blacklist. But I seriously love Kamala Khan. Miss Marvel is like one of my favorite MCU female leads at this moment. I think Monica Rambeau is a fantastic character. Tiana Paris plays her very wonderfully, and I love her addition inside of the MCU. And even Carol Danvers in this movie wasn't too bad. I kind of, even though I had my gripes with the character, I think this movie was pretty alright. But of course, this movie was review bombed and criticized heavily for no good real reason besides sexism. But I do think the director did a fantastic job with these fight scenes. That first fight, where the Marvel's powers are kind of intertwined and they keep teleporting into each other's spots, it was such a fun and cool fight, and I really enjoyed that. But where it fell short was just its story. It just wasn't very intriguing, and the villain was super forgettable. But the one thing that we have to remember from the Marvels is the post-credit scene where Monica Rambeau wakes up in the X-Men universe with Beast and her mom. That scene will most likely lead directly into Doomsday. Here at number 7, we have Captain America: Brave New World. This movie had so much hype. Tiamat being made out of adamantium, the reintroduction of the leader, very delayed by the way, and Harrison Ford as Red Hulk. How did this movie fall so short? It had the same spy thriller type of movie vibes that Captain America: The Winter Soldier did, but just couldn't reach the top shelf. I did, however, enjoy Sam Wilson's Captain America very much. He is fitting into that role very nicely, and Harrison Ford's Red Hulk was so cool. I just wish we got to see more. The movie was fun, and I did enjoy myself watching it, but you could just tell Marvel wanted to get this over with as soon as possible so they can move on to the next thing. Now we are finally getting into the projects that I really did enjoy. Starting off, surprisingly, at number 6, we have Ironheart. Ironheart was a breath of fresh air. It is so unfortunate that Marvel was planning on sweeping this under the rug because it had so much good qualities. Not only was the Hood a fantastic villain, introducing Mephisto in the way they did, I think was fantastic. You guys were just mad about it because you had your expectations way too high for WandaVision and Agatha all along. This story had so much heart to it, and Dominique Thorne plays a fantastic Riri Williams. And growing up outside the Chicagoland area, this felt so real and so human. The show also had some fantastic characters. I completely adored Natalie the AI. Ezekiel Stain was very cool to see, and Zelma Stanton really stood out for me. I think this was way better than a lot of the Disney Plus shows that we've been receiving from Marvel over the years. I did find the ending a little bit iffy because I'm not really sure how that's going to follow up after Secret Wars, because we know Marvel might be planning on doing the soft reboot thing, so I don't know if we're going to be revisiting that version of Riri Williams after Secret Wars, but I guess we'll have to see. Here we are, guys, at top 5. We unfortunately have Daredevil Born Again Season 1. Now, this was my most anticipated Marvel project for this phase, and I just think it fell a little short. I do love the new direction that they're taking Daredevil after many years of uncertainty if he was in the MCU. He finally is in the MCU in his own project, and it feels great. The new comic accurate costume designs were really awesome. The action was fantastic, and Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio's respective characters have so much great chemistry. It was truly so fun to watch. I do think it was great, but I think in the middle there, they kind of just danced around the conflict. Things didn't really start to pick up till Karen came back, and then Frank stepped in. But when Frank stepped in, dude, Frank stepped in. I loved Punisher in this series, and I cannot wait to see him some more. I'm actually very excited for season 2 because I know it'll be a lot better. I think this season was just kind of a safety season so they can integrate him well inside of the MCU. At number 4, we have the most unexpectedly outstanding movie in this phase, The Thunderbolts. Now, I don't need to glaze this movie any more than Yelena Stans are doing on Twitter as we speak, but this movie had so much heart and deep meaning. These characters relate to each other on a plane that no other characters in the MCU can relate to, and it worked so well. And we all thought adding Sentry to this mix was kind of crazy, but he ends up being a fantastic character and a very well-loved character now in the MCU, and obviously, he's going to have much importance inside of Doomsday. And that post-credit scene, quite fantastic if I do say so myself. Here we are at the top 3, guys. We have Loki Season 2. I don't even need to say much. You already know this season rocked. Having Victor Timely being such an important figure and being the key to it all to being no match for what lies in front of them is insane and an awesome way to show how powerful the sacred timeline is. Loki sacrificing his life to hold the multiverse together is aura farming at its finest. The character development of Loki, Sylvie, Mobius, Renslayer is the heart of this season. This season just solidified and stapled itself as the best Marvel Disney Plus show we have gotten thus far. Sitting at number 2, I don't know how people are going to react to this, but it is Deadpool and Wolverine. There's been this new hate going around for this movie, and I have no idea why. This wasn't here last summer when we all went to see it, and I think it's being so forced because it was a great movie and people are taking it way too seriously, because at the end of the day, it is a Deadpool movie. And I really enjoy these storylines coming together. The amalgamation of all these characters really tell a fun story. Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine was peak. It was some of the best Wolverine content we have gotten. The return of unexpected characters like Jennifer Garner's Elektra, Wesley Snipes' Blade, Daphne Keena's X-23, Chris Evans as the Human Torch, and people who never got a chance like Channing Tatum's Gambit. It's a love letter to Marvel fans. The thing that stands out for me the most and why I really love this movie is the involvement of Ryan Reynolds. He doesn't just play Deadpool, he plays a very pivotal role in the production process of this movie, and it is one of the reasons why I love him as Deadpool and love him as an MCU actor, because some of these characters need that type of initiative, they need that type of support. That's why Deadpool is one of the strongest Marvel characters we have in live action, is because of Hugh Jackman's true dedication to the character. I don't care what anybody says, I love this movie. I think it was filmed fantastically. Sean Levy did a fantastic job. Everything, to the videography, to the color grading, to the new suits, everything about this movie was fantastic, and that's why it deserves my number 2 spot. Here we are, guys, at the number 1 spot. If you have been counting down with me, you already know what it is, but it is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This one's kind of a no-brainer for me. This movie literally has it all. It rips out your heart, stomps on it, puts it back, puts a smile on your face while showing you the coolest action sequences and the most beautiful music you have ever seen. I don't understand the hate that James Gunn gets. He's made nothing but bangers. Guardians 1, Guardians 2, Guardians 3, all bangers. Superman is going to be a banger, we already know. The Suicide Squad, banger. Peacemaker Season 1, banger. He wrote the original Scooby-Doo movies, those are bangers. The James Gunn hate is so forced, it's not even, it's like so stupid. He made the entire Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord, Rocket, Gamora, Drax, Groot, Mantis, household names. Like, literally D-list Marvel characters into household names. Some of the most popular characters that Marvel has right now. He made us all sob like children in the theaters over a CGI raccoon, making us think everybody in the movie was going to die, with the amazing ending of nobody dying. The soundtrack, again, mesmerizing as Volume 2 was and Volume 1, and it just was the perfect ending for the Guardians trilogy. There is no other project in Phase 5 that made me feel the way that Guardians Volume 3 does, so that's why it deserves the number 1 spot. Being totally honest, I don't really think my list was that controversial. I think it was kind of a cold take. Maybe Deadpool and Wolverine at number 2 because you guys just don't like fun and just maybe like to hate on things because you like to hate on things, but I think it deserves number 2. But anyway, guys, we're going to move on to talking about Phase 6 now. Not going to lie, guys, we're in for quite a treat. We have some very exciting and intriguing projects on the way for Phase 6. Now, these are all the ones that we have kind of confirmed, so bear in mind that there might be some projects not on this list that maybe get confirmed along the way. And again, we're leaving out animated projects like Marvel Zombies, Eyes of Wakanda, anything like that. So we have about 8 projects, you know, minus all of the animated shows like Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2 and 3. I think we have X-Men 97 Season 2 coming, Eyes of Wakanda, Marvel Zombies, stuff like that. So we have about 8 projects that aren't animated, which I think is a pretty good number considering how much exhaustion we kind of went through in Phase 5 with the 12 projects that we did have. So I think this is going to be a better number. Unfortunately, sitting at number 8 is Wonder Man. This is definitely going to have to be something that proves itself to me, especially because we know so little about the show already. I am totally open to it because I know Yahya Abdul-Mateen is a fantastic actor, but again, like, these shows kind of feel like homework. Even Kevin Feige said they feel like homework, and it's just gonna feel like something I have. It's like a burden that I have to watch to understand the future of the MCU. So that's why it sits at number 8 for me. It's not that I'm not excited for it. It just kind of feels like homework at this point. Another Disney Plus show here at number 7, we have Vision Quest. Don't get me wrong, I am very excited to see what White Vision's been up to since WandaVision, and now that we're reintroducing Ultron, that is so exciting. I think they should have brought back Ultron way sooner, and we're introducing Jocasta, who is such a cool character in the comics, so that sounds exciting. But again, another Disney Plus show just feels like more homework. Sitting at number 6, we have The Punisher Special. This one in particular is so exciting because I've been saying for years, ever since special presentations were introduced, Werewolf by Night and stuff like that, that characters like the Punisher need these special presentations. Characters who aren't yet ready for the big screen in their own movie, but this is a perfect medium for where these characters belong. Don't get me wrong, I would really love to see another season of The Punisher show, but at this time, I think what The Punisher needs is a high quality, high production value, one-time special presentation to really show him off. Here we are again at number 5, we have Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Not much to say. I love Daredevil. Can't wait for Season 2. Some of the set leaks we got of Charlie Cox's black suit is incredible, and I cannot wait to see it. I really do think Marvel is going to nail it on the head this time around. Sitting at a very fitting number 4, we have Fantastic Four: First Steps. Alright guys, here's the thing. We are getting so close to the release of this movie, and it is so unreal. I am so excited for this movie. I remember in early 2021 when they first revealed that they were going to be making this movie. It was already at my number 2 most anticipated MCU projects behind Spider-Man No Way Home. I am so happy this is finally releasing. We are only a couple more days away. I am so excited. Here we are, guys, at top 3, and sitting at number 3 is Avengers Doomsday. We all know the complications that this film is going to have to go through. Why is Robert Downey Jr. back as a completely unrelated character? That makes no sense. Where has Doom been this entire time? We thought we were getting Kang. Where is Kang? Why is Kang here? Why are the original X-Men coming back? What is going on here? Where's Tom Holland's Spider-Man in that chair reveal? That's a question I'm asking, but let me bring something to your attention real fast. Okay, I don't know why, but I do think that for whatever reason, I don't know, I could be completely just making this up. This is just kind of me just thinking. I don't know why, but I think Robert Downey Jr. is really behind this all. I think he is the one that pitched this idea to Marvel out of pure interest in playing the character Doctor Doom. I don't know how to describe it because it just seems so fictional, but I don't know. He had Pedro Pascal come to his house to study. I don't know if he picked up a comic book and read Doctor Doom or something and fell in love and wanted to come back and play him, because that's kind of what it seems like. It seems like he's behind it all. This is his idea, and it scares me because I don't know if it's going to be good, but what if it's peak? What if it's a banger, dude? I am so excited to see how this plays out, whether it being good or bad. I think it's going to be so fun. It has to be good, right? There's no way this could be bad, right? I don't know how to describe it. I think he's behind all of this. At number 2, guys, we have Avengers: Secret Wars. Now, this film is at number 2 for very similar reasons that Avengers Doomsday is number 3, but the only reason it's above Doomsday is because I think it's more likely in this movie that we're going to see the 3 Spider-Men reunite, and Tom's got to get his black suit, right? That is all I'm waiting for right now. And finally, we are here at number 1. No one saw this coming. Number 1 is Spider-Man: Brand New Day. No explanation needed. You already know. Thanks, guys.